Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Sprint. My name is Daphne Gray. Hope you're having a great afternoon or a great evening. You already know, right here on the Sprint, this is a place where we take a break from the heaviness of our news cycle. We look into those good stories that are happening in our community. We kind of flesh them out. We talk a little bit more about them, kind of give them more details that you've seen throughout our day. But again, it's just a cool reminder to show you that there is good in our community happening on a local level, where there is kind of showing recognition to people who've done some great things here on the local level, or it's an awareness to be brought about, could help people kind of be more educated about certain issues. Here on the Sprint, it makes people smile for the most part, and also makes people think to themselves, oh my God, thank God that turned out to be a more positive ending. For example, today's story that we're talking about later on makes you want to say, well said. For those of you out there, that's a Castaway reference right there. We chat about how three fishermen were stranded out there in the ocean on a little inlet, but thank God they made a sign and for somebody to see it who was in the right place at the right time to save them. Again, we're chatting about this Castaway story, Tom Hanks experience, coming up later on in the Sprint. But first and foremost, let's get to a really, really big event that's coming up this weekend. Again, like I told you on the Sprint, we highlight the good stories that are happening. And sometimes those good stories, they come from a bad situation where some people are out there trying to turn that around and turn it into something that it has more of a positive spin, whether it's a reminder of what happened and to keep moving forward. For example, this weekend, thousands will be in Blacksburg for the Virginia Tech Day of Remembrance. Now, it's an annual event meant to honor 27 students and 5 staff members killed during the shooting back in 2007. On Saturday, the university is holding its annual 3.2 for 32 run in remembrance, but this year it will start in front of the Patton Hall, passing various campus landmarks before ending at the April 16th memorial.
In the hours that followed our tragedy in 2007, people came and gathered at the drill field. It's why the memorial is there today.
So the spring football game is also taking place on Saturday, in addition to other events for Family Weekend. Again, a very, very awful situation that has happened in our history. But for people to look at that event and not only showcase the importance of moving forward and staying strong, but also showing the importance of never forgetting, especially those beautiful souls whose lives were ripped away from them that awful, awful day. This is one of those things that, again, highlights that, again, you are not forgotten whatsoever. We're in this together. We're going to stick together in a strong fashion. So if you guys are interested in that event, again, you can find more details on our website, WSLS.com. We got a full article on it, and obviously that's happening this weekend. So something to definitely plan for. Another very cool event that's happening in honor of something that was kind of devastating that happened, but is also a reminder that shows that this family is moving forward in a strong fashion, and in doing so to help others who are basically in the position that they were once in. 4th annual Hero Car Expo returning to Vinton this weekend. Event helps support local families impacted by childhood cancer. Okay, it was created in memory of Rowan Price, hence the spelling in hero. It's spelled He-ROW. Now, the 4-year-old lost her battle to cancer in 2019, and since then, Rowan's mom selects the recipients. This year, they're raising money for 8-year-old Trip Potes, who was battling leukemia.
All proceeds go directly to Tripp and his family, and they can be used for medical costs, traveling costs, or any other type of associated costs that comes along with that type of treatment.
Now, the expo is from 5 to 10 on Saturday at William Byrd High School. These kind of stories, it will always forever pull on your heartstrings, because no family wants to ever deal with a situation where they're dealing with terminal cancer for their children. And every time I do or cover any of these kind of stories, it reminds me of one family that I covered when I was in San Antonio. Their son had this terminal cancer that he wasn't expected to live for, past another 2 months, but they were holding his perfect drive-through birthday. That's when everybody was doing the drive-through birthday celebrations because of the pandemic. And I met him for the first time. It puts into perspective when you meet these kids and sit there and you talk to them and they laugh and they joke and, they just, as precious as they want to be, But in that moment, they tried their best to just take a break from the suffering that they're dealing with. And then later, you find out down the line after covering an event, doing it justice, showcasing the happiness that they are experiencing when this community come out to support them. And then you find out later that they pass away. That will rock any human being. I don't care what you say. It will really, really cause some pain in the heart category. So these families who are dealing with children with these terminal illnesses or any kind of cancer, you take your hat off to them, because these are the most, like, some of the strongest people that I know out there to be able to balance that, the medical expenses, the reality of the situation where your child who craves that normalcy will probably never get it. That kind of situation will make anybody send a prayer or two up, or 1,000 up in the air, that, hey, you never know what God will do. He works in mysterious ways. There are some such situations where people are just overnight cured. It's things like that you pray and hope for. So if you guys are hoping to go out there and show some support to this family, go ahead, check out the Hero Car Expo, again, taking place this weekend. And obviously, we're going to be following this story. Another story you can find more details about on our website at WSLS.com. Here at our station, we're also partnered with the American Red Cross, who recognizes people and celebrates those local heroes. They say all heroes don't wear capes. This is one of the recognitions that they do to showcase the people doing things in their communities across Southwest Virginia that makes a difference. And this year's blood donor goes to Philip Bass Licato from Appomattox County. Here's his story. Bass has been giving blood for more than 50 years, and which is a total of about 317 gallons of blood, helping countless recipients over the years battle cancer, survive surgeries, and traumatic injuries. Most who donate find a location that's close to home, but not Bass. He travels all across our region to donate. He'll be honored at the Celebration of Heroes breakfast along with all the other local heroes on April 18th at the Hotel Roanoke. And of course, we'll be telling you guys about their stories every morning on Virginia Today, on 10 News at noon, right here on The Sprint. Anytime that we can showcase why we're recognizing a person, again, it goes way beyond, showing them the recognition that they deserve, but it also inspires other people to kind of step up and see what they can do to, not to have the finger pointed at me, but if anything, it makes you want to get up and help others, or get up and pay it forward, or get up and do something positive in the community. And shout out to Mr. Licato for doing that. And again, over 300 gallons of blood. You think about that, you're like, whoa, that's a lot. And I just know it has saved countless lives in our area. We got a festival celebrating diversity in the Star City is returning next month. It's called Local Colors Festival. I've been to it one time, and that was when I first started here. And it was a pretty cool event. We were out there, had like a tent for WSLS 10 News, and that was one of the first times that I was meeting a lot of you guys out there in the community. But Local Colors Festival features people from all over 50 different countries. May 18th, there will be cuisine, artisan booths, educational and cultural displays, and community partners. And this year, South Korea is the featured country. The mayor and two performance teams from Roanoke's sister city, Wonju, South Korea, will participate in this year. This is the 33rd year for the event. Leaders say that they are still looking for performers, and if you want to participate, we got a link on our website at WSLS.com. A really fun event. And again, it's one of those events that brings everybody together. You get to learn about different cultures. You get to experience a lot of cool food, a lot of different, dances and just traditions in one setting. And more than anything, it gets the community out and about in a together fashion where you're just out having a good time with your family and learning so much while you're having a good time. So, yeah, keep your ears peeled for that. We'll be out there covering it as well. Let's get to our weather. We do have a weather authority alert day issued today because we got some potential severe weather that is coming in our neck of the woods. You guys have probably already seen it by now if you've seen this at 6:30. But meteorologist Marshall Downing has been covering this all day. Our full weather authority has been covering this all day. Has kind of an update as far as what's about to happen and what's going on as we speak.
Hello everyone. Today we are looking at some rather consistent rainfall, which will turn into storminess in the late afternoon and going into the evening. Main threat with that we're looking at is high wind gusts. Could get some flooding as well with the consistent rain, especially up into the highlands. Tomorrow we have some showers left over with temperatures that are going to rise nicely through the weekend.
All right, Marshall. Thank you so much. And obviously, you can get that Weather Authority app handy. Get the 10 News app handy on your phone so you can always get those new notifications in your actual zone. You get them specifically tailored to whatever zone that you're in so that you can figure out where this track of storms are going or, where they're ended, where have they been. We always do our best to try to keep you guys updated with the latest information. And our Weather Authority team is always a good, solid group of people who are very passionate about making sure people stay safe. Coming up after the break, guys, we got a bus on fire. That was a bizarre video that we showed earlier today. Also, it is National Pet Day, so a lot of you guys sent in a lot of cool pictures through our Pennant page. We're going to give some shout-outs to some people. You don't want to miss it because you just may be on that list of pets that we pulled from the pet page or our Pennant page. Can't wait to get in that because, it's always a good day when we get to talk about pets and animals and all your fur babies, whether it's a cat. I think we got a bird in there somewhere. That's coming up after the break. And also, this castaway story, we're talking about how a group of men were rescued after forming that desperate cry of help right there on white sand made from, I think it was like pine leaves or something. We got the whole breakdown of how this rescue came about to begin with. Again, a real Tom Hanks castaway kind of situation. You don't want to miss it. We got that and so much more coming your way on The Sprint at WSLS.com. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to The Sprint. Like I told you, we still got a juicy back portion of the show, and that includes your awesome pennant pictures. Again, we were talking about how today is National Pet Day, and you guys sent us some really, great pictures of your beautiful fur baby. So let's get right to it, okay? So first up, we got to give some love to DL King sending us this gentle giant named Jack. How beautiful is this dog? Minding his own business. He looks like he's super chill. Happy National Pet Day to you. She also sent us Chloe girl, sweetest baby in the whole wide world. Look at her and her pink, enjoying life to the fullest. Absolutely love that right there. Cute little chihuahua. Moving on to our next person. This is coming in from Carlene. Carlene said that this is Sergeant. Morning hugs with mom. Sergeant look like he is sleeping good. So shout out to them. Thank you for sending that beautiful picture. And got some more coming your way from Rosie. Rosie says this is 6-year-old bear. He's a Shih Tzu. I think I said that right. A Shih Tzu. I'm assuming it's like a Shih Tzu mixed with a poodle. Don't quote me on that. Either way, Bear is one handsome looking dude. So thank you for sending that in, Rosie. Our next pennant picture is coming in from Missy. Look at this beautiful thing. It's called Gus. It's the Gus, the Great Dane. Beautiful dog right there. Basically a horse or a cow if you want to talk about his colors, the black and white going on right there. Either way, Gus, beautiful, looking healthy. Thank you, Missy, for sending that in. This picture is coming in through our pennant page from 3 Hawkins for us. It's Oakley, birthday today. Oh my gosh, happy birthday. Oakley is beautiful. Look at those eyes. There's something about a dog's eyes that you can just see there. I know they always say dogs don't have souls. Whatever, you can see deep inside Oakley. You can tell that this is a real cool cat, man. So shout out to Oakley, happy birthday. Next up, this picture is coming in from Eric Gray. Says that this is a Loki. Loki is a Belgian Malinois. I think I said that. Yeah, Malinois. Look how gorgeous that is. That's a cute, beautiful shot of Loki. Thank you so much for sending that in, Gray. Love your last name. Next up, look at this. We got to get a bird in there. This is, I think she says Louie. Louie being Louie, coming from Christina. Shout out to you for sending us this. I think this is the first bird that we've gotten on National Pet Day. Don't quote me on that, but this is the first bird I've seen. And Louie looks like he is just a lover bird right there. And then last but not least, we got this picture coming in from Angie, sending us another Oakley and Ollie. Basically some twins on our hands right here. So shout out to you for sending that in. Thank you guys so much for getting all of your pennant pictures in. That's kind of the people that we picked on our page that stood out. But again, if you keep them coming, we're going to continue to give you guys shout outs. It's Thursday. Hey, let's stretch this day over until tomorrow. So if you send your pictures in after this airs, we just may give you a shout out about later on tomorrow on the spread in the afternoon and the evening time. All right, guys, we got to get to this right here. A bizarre look at a school bus on fire. I have never seen anything like this, but check it out. Is that not something, a crazy sight to see in a neighborhood? This is footage of a school bus that caught on fire and crashed into the side of a home in Missouri. Neighbors say that they saw the bus coming down the road, sparking, when it suddenly burst into flames. Says that the driver was forced to kick open the side door, jump off the moving bus just before it hit the home. Crews were able to put out the flames, but not without doing some damage to the home, unfortunately. Police say, fortunately, no one was seriously hurt. But, dude, I wouldn't know what to think if I saw that, especially if I'm in the neighborhood walking row, or if I'm just, going to school or something. All of a sudden, I see this bus coming out of nowhere, on fire, sparking, and then it crashes into a home. Like, that is a sight that you see, like, it's the end of the world in those zombie-like movies where chaos is just erupting everywhere. But yeah, no, thank God that bus driver thought quick on their hands and got out when they could. Nobody was seriously injured. It could have resulted in a very awful scenario. But yeah, we got the video to show that how wild of a situation it is. Ended up being a survival-like situation. So yeah, shout out to this video coming in. That is something, again, you definitely do not see every day. And something else you don't see every day of a positive outcome is a castaway kind of situation. So I think I'm saying this right. Micronesian. Do not go off on me if I'm mispronouncing that. This is live, okay? Live footage. Okay, so 3 Micronesian mariners were rescued from a tiny remote islet or whatever in the Pacific Ocean on Tuesday after being stranded for more than a week. Now, again, if I'm mispronouncing these different things, please don't laugh at me. Hold on, I'm going to say that one more time. I'm going to actually have you guys wait for a second, because I want to make sure I get this together, because I don't want y'all laughing at me if I don't get it right. So hold on.
To the channel, how do you say it?
I don't know what this is.
Islet.
Islet. Ha! Okay, I got it together now. It's pronounced islet. It's spelled islet, but don't joke about me, okay? So, starting all over, okay? So, we got 3 Micronesian mariners rescued from a tiny remote islet in the Pacific Ocean on Tuesday after being stranded for more than a week. God, I told you I was going to figure it out. Okay, let's get right into this video. Okay, if you're looking at your screen right now, it says the trio spelled out help using palm fronds laid on a white sand beach. There says that they actually worked, because guess what? They had a person watching it at the right time at the right place. U.S. Navy jets spotted the sign. According to the Coast Guard, the 3 men had been planning to fish around the area, which is part of Micronesia, on March 31st. But their 20-foot open skiff was caught by swells and an outboard motor was damaged. They scrambled ashore onto the uninhabited islet, but didn't have a radio with power, so they were kind of in a bad situation. Coast Guard said that they lived off coconut meat and fresh water from a small well on the island, which is sometimes visited by fishermen in the region. So, again, talk about a story to tell. I think I would be in beyond panic mode if I was them. First of all, you're fishing, and then you find yourself having to get off of the boat because something crazy is happening. You go on this islet, which I'm going to call it an island basically, but the situation is they're surrounded by water, and it was uninhabited. So not only are you in a situation where you're just like, I don't know what is on this island. I don't know how we're going to get out of this. Our radio isn't working. We ain't got no phones. We ain't got no way to communicate with people. So let's spell. And they did just that. Thank God that this worked. And again, if you watch the movie Castaway, it's dealing with Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks is one of my favorite Tom Hanks movies. But this is one of the movies that I just remember watching when I was a kid, like, oh my God. And he wasn't stranded for a week. He was stranded for years. Plane crashed and all that good stuff. And he actually had this idea of spelling out the word help on the sand, and it didn't work. He ended up having to make his own little raft and ended up lucking up after fighting through waves on year 1000 and found a boat, was able to find him. But the thing that always would make anybody cry, Castaway, I will give it credit about this, because Castaway, it was one of those movies that I couldn't believe I was crying because of his emotional connection with the volleyball. You guys remember the volleyball? That was one of the things that he was able to salvage from the plane that had crashed. And it was a scene in there where he had an ice skate, the volleyball, that good stuff. And I remember he was cutting something. You remember he cut his hand, and then he got frustrated, grabbed the volleyball, which was Wilson, and he threw it, and then later found it. And that blood hand on the on the ball, he made a little face out of it. Either way, Wilson was my dog. And when he even gave Wilson some hair, like, you guys know the movie, but the moment when him and Wilson had to separate and he was crying and was screaming, Wilson, y'all, I'm telling you, that messed me up so bad. And the fact of the matter, you think about it, is just like an emotional connection with the ball. Come on now. Great movie, and a great outcome for these fishermen. Thank God they didn't have to deal with a situation where they're dealing with Wilson or anything where, fortunately they had food, and they found a well. I think that was just a sign from God. Got some fresh water well there to drink out of. But yeah, my thing is, at least it was 3 of them together. They weren't by themselves. And again, they formed that message at the right place at the right time, to where we had one of our ever so beautiful people who sacrifice their lives on a daily basis for us out there to rescue them. So yeah, kind of a wild story. Today, I bet you noticed, you was just like, where's Jazzy Jazz? Jazzy Jazz isn't here today, but if she was, she would tell you guys about this deal that we're trying to give you guys, okay? Do not sleep on it, because you still got some time to win some money. Okay, insiders, this is for you. Have a chance to win a $250 Visa gift card for celebrating Earth Day. All you have to do is submit an Earth Day inspired photo, drawing, painting, or sculpture on Pin It under the Earth Day channel. A winner will be drawn at random on April 22nd. You have from now until April 21st to submit, and you can only submit 1 entry. Some of your submissions might be featured on air, and we would definitely do that. But again, make that submission count, because you get 1 shot. And some of you guys, especially during the eclipse that was happening right now, you guys sent in some of the most beautiful, crisp pictures. And I'm thinking to myself, if y'all could do that, I can only imagine what you could do with some type of photo or some type of image that you capture that means something to you for Earth Day. So get those submissions in. We would love to see them. And again, I wish all of you guys the best of luck, because everybody can use a little money. And $250, that's not a small amount, in my opinion. That's like, what, at least 2 bills that you can pay, or at least 1 shopping trip to the store. You name it, we got your back. Just get those pictures and send it through our Pin It page. Thank you again so much for joining us on The Sprint. Again, as you can see, it's a very free-flowing show. It's one of those shows that is very conversational. And again, a back and forth would be awesome. So if you guys go back and see this on, later on, or you go on our Facebook page or something, there's a comment section there. Please drop your comments in there. We would definitely get to them. And again, don't roast me too hard, because guess what? I actually looked up the pronunciation of these words. I-S-L-E-T is spelled islet, not islet. I got it now, okay? I got it. Either way, thank you so much for joining us. We had a good time today, and we're going to have an even better time tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. So I'll see you guys there, WSLS.com on The Sprint.